Hey everybody, I'm going to do some tips and tricks for the solo pilot that just wants to play with the AI, wants everything automated, and wants as minimal effort as possible to get in and fly. I do have previous tutorial videos. Make sure you go watch them. One is an hour long and one is the short and sweet version. Okay, so this video is just to help out those that want to get into a mission quickly. So what you want to do is you hit this button here to start a new campaign. I would highly suggest Battle for Georgia. Any of these WRL campaigns are made by myself for the PvE group. You're more than welcome to go to our website. It's linked here, and you can join us, and we can help you and teach you things. So we're going to open up a campaign, and we're just going to go through these settings real quick. And the things that you need to do to make things automated, some of the most important settings, like I said, I've already made a full tutorial, so we're just going through this kind of quickly. Under campaign management, you want automate runway repairs, frontline, aircraft, and this frontline stances. You always want that. Okay. And then under campaign doctrine, we want to turn this op4 aggressiveness up to 100. Don't hit enter, it goes to the next page. 100 will make the enemy do more strikes and risk more. The biggest problem with campaigns is there's SAM sites everywhere, so the AI gets too scared to plan flights. Well, if you turn it up to 100, you'll see enemy air, and it'll be a lot more interesting. Under mission generator, you want to do this fast forward to first contact. What this does is it skips forward in the timeline and lets you skip all the slow first 15, 20 minutes of the game. If you want to have a cold start aircraft for your player pilot, do startup time. If you want taxi time, that makes it so you have a hot start aircraft right before your taxi time, and then takeoff time, I believe, puts you on the runway, which could be kind of dangerous and cause conflict. So we'll just do taxi time for the hot start. And then if you have a super carrier, you're going to need to check that. All kinds of settings to mess with. This next one here, desired mission duration, drag that down to 30 minutes. That makes the AI planning put everything in 1 hour time frame. 1 hour is the perfect time frame for a mission. So don't forget to drag that down, because that otherwise the AI, friendly and enemy, are going to be spread out for longer than that, and it takes too long to get aircraft in the air. Under the plugins, a lot of people like Skynet. Skynet is only good for players. The AI don't particularly know what to do when the AI shuts the radar off with Skynet. You can get some silly behavior from the AI. So I'd turn Skynet off. Splash damage I would turn on. And I'd also come down here and turn on wave explosions, the damage model. Damage model, if a unit is wounded, it won't be able to fire. And cluster munitions and ship radars damaged. And those are the few settings that you must set up before starting this. You go over, hit finish. All the aircraft that show up here are part of the mission. It's what the mission generator wanted, but you can edit that. You can save a config and load it up and do a different mission if you want. But we're going to accept changes. And now to check if the automation worked, we'll click on the carrier. We'll see that it's trying to buy some aircraft. We can click on the first airbase here, part of the front lines. It's buying aircraft and is buying ground units, and it's set it to defensive. So everything's purchased, and you should be good to go. You should always save this. I always call it turn 0 for starters. And what that does is if you hit begin campaign, you can always load back to turn 0, fix your settings, and then begin campaign again. So we're going to hit begin campaign. And look at that. The AI planned all these flights for you. It's 1500 local time, and the last flight takes off or is time on target at 1557, so under an hour. So is the enemy. Another thing you can double check is go to Air Wing inventory and show inventory, and you'll see that the AI has planned a bunch of flights. So that's perfect. We are set up to go, but how do you get in there? Let's say you're a strike aircraft. You like blowing stuff up, so let's find something. Here's a CAS. Here's an A10 flight. Now, what I would do is if I wanted to be the A10, I'd double click on that, switch it down to one aircraft and do player. Why? Because the AI sucks. I'd rather just solo fly it. So that's how I'd make that guy a cast flight. Let's see this deed flight. There's a lot of moving parts with the deed flight. So let's say you want to be part of this package. We'll do seed. We'll drop it down to 1. We'll hit player, and we're good to go. Now in our knee boards, it'll have all the times and takeoff times and hold points. And if we follow those, we'll be part of this package and we'll get to go strike our target. So those are a couple ways to add yourself in. Or let's say you wanted to be an escort. And you can drop that down, put it player, and then close it out. And let's say you don't want to be seed anymore. You just make that non-player slot, and it's back to how it was. So that's as quick as it is to make this kind of flight. Okay. And then what you do is you just hit your takeoff button here. And you see how it skipped to 10? Some of these aircraft are starting up. Some are getting ready to taxi. Sometimes it might be 10 minutes. Sometimes it might be 20 minutes. It all depends on when the aircraft would come encounter with enemy aircraft. But you can always abort this, and you can open this, and you can go back to turn 0. And then if there's things that you wanted to change, you can. So we'll hit begin campaign one more time. And there's a thing that I wanted to show you. All these AI flights, they plan as packages. But the AI flights suck at working in packages. For instance, these 3 times JF-17 Thunder. They're going to take turns trying to attack the target. It's inefficient. So let me delete all of these real quick, just so there's less clutter on the map. This tank group, for example, what would be better is an F-16 and another F-16. And you're asking yourself, well, why didn't he just put a 2-ship? Well, the reason for that is these AI act independent from each other to get the job done faster. If they're combined together, they will try to take turns, and it takes forever, and sometimes the AI screws it up. Or let's say this anti-ship. Anti-shipping can take a lot of attacks. But instead of a 4-ship of Hornets, I'm going to have 4 1-ships. See? Now, when this 4-ship comes from ingress, all 4 jets are going to fire everything they have instead of taking turns. They are going to overwhelm this 4-ship group, and they're going to take out targets. If they fire one anti-ship missile at a time, they're going to get shot down. So this is how you overcome AI problems. If you're attacking ground forces, BAI is the best. If you're attacking stationary targets, strike is the best. Here's a little Shilka site. I would use strike on that. Here's a SAM site. I would use strike on that. All these tank groups, BAI for that. So just those are just a couple little tricks for you. Just taking a look at my notes, making sure I don't miss anything. Yeah, that pretty much sums up everything I wanted to put in this little solo tips and tricks video. If there's anything else I can think of,